Hi, Mark here from the HerdPlus team. Your 2018 Calving Report is now available online, so today we're going to quickly go through the Calving Report and how best to utilise it. So, if we look at the Calving Report itself here, we can see at the very top of the report is a breakdown of your herd's calving. Okay, you can see the calving period, the start calving date and how long the calving period was, and a breakdown of male versus female calves and so on. Okay, if we look at the main part of the report then, it goes into the key performance indicators. These are the key profit traits that you should be examining for your herd with your farm advisor, and they range from calving interval to calves per cow per year and calf mortality and so on. Okay, and the way that's laid out in the report for you to see is your herd's figures are on the left hand side, so you can see that this herd for calving interval has an average calving interval of 369 days. Okay, next to that we have the national average so that you can compare how your herd is performing. So in this case the national average for calving interval is 391 days. Okay, so you can see that this herd is well ahead of the national average for calving interval. And then this is laid out visually then on the right hand side just to help you understand. So you can see here, if we follow this again, the example of calving interval, this herd is almost all the way into the top 5% of herds for calving interval. The top 5% of herds are doing 363 days. Okay, there are 16 key performance indicators to look at for the dairy and a similar amount in the beef. And if we go then to the last page, it just gives a further breakdown for the herd of their calving from last year. So if we see this graph at the top shows you the calvings per month, okay, and we can compare this year's data in the black against last year's data in the light grey, if you can make that out there, okay? And we can see that this herd has a nice tight calving pattern between January and April, and we can also see things like the fact that he has had more cows calved in January this year, almost the same amount in February, less in March, and so on, okay? And then there's a further breakdown, the actual numbers of cows calved per month here, a breakdown of the calving difficulty in the herd from normal to some assistance and so on, and a breakdown of the different calving intervals of the cows in the herd. Finally then, for the beef herds only, we have an action list. So this is to help draw the farmer's attention to any cows that might require a further attention or further examination. So if a cow in the last year has had a particular problem like a long calving interval, which might have been due to fertility issues, or hasn't calved in a long time, or has slipped from one season to the next or so on, they show up here on this list to draw the farmer's attention to them, and then he can decide what action needs to be taken. Okay, so that's all on the Calving Report for today. If you would require some further information, click on the link in the description below or visit ICBF.com.